For today's social studies lesson, we are going to read a Scholastic News article. The title of this article is Holiday Needs and Wants. Before we get started, we're going to take a look at the vocabulary words for today's reading. Our first word is shelter. So shelter is a place where you can keep covered in bad weather or stay safe and protected from danger. Even this little house is shelter. So you would probably think of your home as shelter. So it's a place where you can keep covered in bad weather, and it's a place where you stay safe and protected from danger. So your house could be one type of shelter. A school could be another type of shelter. So this word is shelter. Our next word is need. When you need something, you can't live without it. For example, you need food and water. So food and water is a need. It's something that you can't live without. Want. When you want something, it is nice to have, but you can live without it. For example, you might want toys or video games, your cell phone. So those aren't things that you need. You can live without those things. That means that they are wants. So a want is something that you can live without, but it's nice to have. All right, so on the front cover of our Scholastic News, it says, "Look at this big pile of presents." Is a big pile of presents something that you want or something that you need? So with Christmas coming up, think about gifts. So when you have gifts under the Christmas tree, is that something that you want or something that you need? So that is something that you want. You can live without presents, but it is nice sometimes to get them. So it's something that you want, not something that you need. So as we read today, we're going to be thinking about what you need and what you want and what the difference is. Do you need it or want it? We can't live without things we need. So this first circle here, we can look at the picture. We see some fruit and we see some water. It says food and water. We need food and water. Food and water keep your body working. So you cannot survive without food and water. So that is something that you absolutely need. In order to live, you need food and water. Our next one here, we have a picture of a house and it says shelter. We need shelter. Shelter keeps you warm when it's cold outside. So that's perfect for this month especially. So we know December is, the start of our cold weather. So shelter is something that you do need to survive because it's something that keeps you warm when it's cold outside. Or when we talked about our vocabulary words, in case of bad weather, it's something that keeps us safe. It's something that protects us from danger. So shelter, your home, is something that you can't live without. So that makes it a need. Our next circle says clothes. We need clothes. Some people need glasses. Some people can have different needs. So clothes is a need. It's something that we can't live without. And things that go along with clothes could be glasses. So some people need glasses in order to see. And that is a need. It's not something that you want. You have to have, if you need glasses, you need them to see. It's not something that you just want. And our last circle is love. We need love. We get love from family and friends. So love means having a relationship with someone. So it could be a relationship with your mom. It could be a relationship with your dad, your grandma, your grandpa, your friends, your cousins. So having a relationship with somebody is part of a human connection that it is important that you have, and it's something that we all need. So we need to be able to talk to people and to feel a connection with other people. So love is definitely something that you need. Okay, so now let's look at the other side of things that you want. So we can live without things that we want, but they are nice to have. So again, these are things that we can live without, but we do enjoy having them. So the first one that they talk about is sweet treats. Sweet treats are yummy. They are nice to have, but we can live without them. So in our picture, we see two gingerbread men and some candy canes. When I think of sweet treats, I think of cookies and cupcakes. So those are all things that most of us enjoy. Those are things that we want, but those are not things that we need because we can live without cupcakes. That makes it a want. Our next one is games. So if we look at the picture, we see soccer ball, we see I think that's a Nintendo Switch. So games are fun, and having fun is a good thing, but we can live without games. So we don't need soccer or Nintendo Switch or any other kind of video game or cell phone. We don't need those things in order to live. We just enjoy having them. And then the last section is toys. So it is nice to get toys as gifts, but do we need them to live? Nope. We could live without them. So any kind of toy, it could be Legos, it could be any kind of electronic, um, a hoverboard, any of those types of things that are really cool to have. Those are wants, those aren't needs because we, again, can live without them. They're just things that we enjoy. So remember, a need is something that you can't live without. You have to have it. You cannot live without it. A want is things that we can live without, but they are nice to have. So if you look at the back of our Scholastic News, we're going to go over a few examples before you get started on today's work. So we're just going to show what we know from our reading today. So we're going to look at each photo and we are going to decide if that is a need or a want. So the first one here is a picture, it looks like of a mom and a little girl. So that is a picture of love. So we talked about, do we need love to survive, to live? Is that a need or is that a want? That is correct. It is a need. It's something that we need to live. Our next picture says healthy food, and we can look at the basket. We see all different kind of vegetables and fruits in there. Is healthy food something that we need or something that we want? That is another need. So making sure that we eat fruits and vegetables is important for our body. It helps our body survive. Sorry for my dogs barking. The next one is shelter, and we've talked about shelter a few times because that was one of our vocabulary words. Is shelter a need or a want? It is a need. Next, we have toys. So toys, is toys something that we need or is it something that we want? It is something that we want. Our next one says games. I know you all love your video games and your phones and all those sorts of computer games. So is that something that you need to survive? In order to live, you have to have games? Or is that just something you want, something that you enjoy doing? Correct, that is a want. Last one here is water. So water, is that something that we need to survive or something that we want? Could you never drink water ever and live? Or do you have to drink water at least sometimes? You should drink water every single day, but do you need water to live? Is that a need or a want? That is a need. We have a bonus question here. It says people should buy what they need first, then they can buy what they want. Which one should you buy first? Healthy food or candy? So if it's something that we need, Do we need healthy food or do we need candy? Good job, guys. We need healthy food. Very good. So now after this, listening to this Scholastic News, you're going to complete an activity. And I'll have directions and Seesaw for you to complete that activity.